Got this Slipstream blue 16SS in here. It came in with a cam, Cat pipe, Vararam. We're retuning it after Dusty did some regular maintenance. And something we're gonna try today is a direct back-to-back comparison on the Vararam that was on this car to the VCM. So we're gonna see.
A little bit about the size difference.
Yeah.
We don't have mics. We don't have mics.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm just speaking on this side.
If you look at the inlet and the filter area that you can see here versus this guy, like that, you know, like.
Yeah, that's a pretty noticeable difference.
So there's quite a
turn
bit.
it upside, turn it, yeah. Turn yours upside down, Ty.
There we go.
Oh yeah.
So.
That's a really good one
Quite
right there.
Difference.
That'll probably screenshot that for my cover photo.
There you go. And
no, that's a big difference.
Up here, the transition, not just how limited
a little
space
sharper.
you have here, but see how once it hits this wall, it's straight back to where this is a little bit more gentle transition.
And it looks a lot better under the hood. And the VCM is on, and we're back.
We're back. Good results.
Yeah.
Unknown camshaft on this one. We don't really know too much about it. The guy that purchased it has only had it for about 2,500 miles, so he doesn't know everything about it either. It has a yank converter. It does have a cam and long tube cooks with cats. It came in with the Vararam that you saw. You saw the differences between those.
Yep.
And we ended up with some really good results, both with the tune and with the Vararam.
And some interesting information.
Yeah, so what Chris did initially was tuned it on the Vararam, dialed everything in just like we would. Then we switched to the VCM, and he dialed everything in again. Now, something to consider was it does use the same mass airflow sensor.
It does.
However, the VCM moved a lot more air past the sensor, so it was actually a little fat when we did this. Not
it
because
actually
we changed
increased
size,
about almost half of a point. I think it went from about 12.8 where I was at for max power to about 12.4.
Yeah, and so you could see that it's moving more air. It didn't change the map sensor reading, which can be used to show a restriction in the inlet side if it's very low. Closer to 100 the better. It depends on the air pressure outside, altitude, density, altitude, a lot of other stuff. But that being said, it moved more air to this sensor from out here, which shows you right away that the filter itself, this setup itself, is more efficient.
Correct.
So he dialed that in to match dead on the air fuel we had with the Vararam, and we picked up 10. So it's worth 10 over a Vararam, and the tune picked up 10. So this thing picked up 20 horsepower today.
Yeah, 20 horsepower
and a
20 horsepower and 15 foot-pounds.
Yeah, you can walk through the numbers there. That's how it came in.
Top, 433, 410 is how it came in.
There's no changes at all.
That's literally right off the street.
Baseline it.
444.7, 445-ish almost to 420 is after the tuning. And then we put on the VCM and tuned it, picked up to 453, 425. Noteworthy is we did just do the VCM at first, and it picked up 3 or 4 with no tuning.
Yeah.
So it is worth it even if you don't get it tuned, but the way it richens it up, you really should go ahead and do a tune at the same time.
Yeah, and one of the things too that you can't see on the dyno beneficial wise as far as the over the radiator intakes in general is the benefit you get at speed. Obviously with the ram air effect where it's pulling air from, you saw the difference in the transition in that Vararam, but the way this pulls, it's pulling from the area between the hood and the bumper a bit here, and also down from the front grille.
Yeah, it's a good intake for sure. Yeah, you can see down there where it's actually the bottom of the filter housing is getting air, and of course, with speed, you're going to pick that up as well.
Yeah, and the cold air intakes, some of the other ones that have the filter on the side have a 90 pretty close to the throttle body to a filter on the side. So this is the shortest path past the least resistance, and you get a nice big element.
And
again, we don't work for VCM, we just like stuff that works.
Yes, and honestly, it does look the best.
It
looks very OEM.
Yeah, you get the filler panels, you get the side panel here, which some people don't notice, but that fills in the section of the side where the factory Sorry.
You're
The
good.
factory air box was. And,
No, I mean, it makes sense. And the other thing he was talking about with the airflow, I was just going to show that one real quick. This is the the Vararam initially at 6,000 RPM. That's RPM. This is just a number that's used for mass airflow flow measurement. So the bigger that number, the more airflow it's moving. At 6,000 RPM with the original intake, it was at 336, and you literally go right over here, same RPM and everything. It's 360 on the mass airflow, so it's registering more air in the mass airflow, which in turn richened it up. So that's why we had to lean it out after we swapped intake. So it actually did both and gained power even without a tune. It picked up a little bit more than I thought. He also wanted some drivability stuff that the trans tune looked at. We went ahead and retuned the transmission and the engine. So he's going to be real happy with it. It was already previously tuned, but we always like to do it our own way. You know, everybody has their own way they do stuff.
For sure. And, you know, that's one of the things, too, that you always see the numbers and you see the screen and, like, we made power, we didn't make power, we lost power, whatever it is. Like, that's important, but what you can't see on the screen is how much better they run.
Yeah.
And I'm going to toot our own horn, that's fine, but the drivability of our stuff is second to none for sure. The transmission tuning, second to none. Chris does a great job with that. But when it came in, the idle speed was pretty low and laboring sounding. It had some weird transitions when you went into gear to neutral to park to gear, weird idle transitions. It kind of would dump. In fact, when it's cold and you shifted it, it cut off on me.
Yeah, I think that's because they had some of those things too low. So I'm going I'll do a little video from the back of it idling now. And then, of course, you know, you will hear it. It's got more of the standard, hey, I've got a decent cam in here and I'm chopping, right? Yeah. So that's what you would expect. And I talked to Dusty. A lot of people asking for some shop videos of working on something.
Yeah, we're going to do that. I've got we got some DOD deletes. And again, I feel like we do things different. I feel like people need to kind of see, you guys will help see what goes into what we do over there and the detail work. There's things that you bring it in and you get the finished product and you might think, well, what's different? You know, I can get the finished products or I can do it myself or whatever, and that's cool. But we do a lot of things that take time that make a difference.
One day when when I'm available and Dusty's working, I'm gonna just come over and hang out, do some work, but then also film, so we can sort of go through Dusty's things, because we talk about a lot over here, but you don't really say, well, this is why when I pull the oil pump or whatever. I don't know. I'm just a tuner. So. Yeah,
I mean, we don't want to make like a DIY video. Like, you still got to bring it here. No, but you need to know what you're getting, and I think that is important, because some people, we're not the cheapest. We're not ridiculously expensive. We're not the cheapest, but the value that you get, I think, is definitely
I agree with that 100%.
Anyway, so that's where we're at here, and great numbers. He's going to be super happy with it, and the drivability. There's some other stuff, like you said, the rev match was turned off, and the transmission. There's some good features that they have that were turned off for whatever reason, but it's going to be awesome. He's going to love it. 20 horsepower you can feel.
Oh yeah, for sure. So we got the dyno video, of course, like we always do, and we'll be back hopefully with some in-shop video of Dusty doing some work. I just noticed, I got to get Todd over here. He's over here. Look, he's over here just working. He doesn't like being on video, so I'm filming him so he is on video. He's
been such an asset. Like, he's the man. He retired from Durham Fire Department with over 30 years of service, where I have 7 years to go before I can get out of there.
What do you think he's doing with that piece of metal?
I think he's going to put it back there where the fan is, so maybe it doesn't pick up as many leaves sometimes.
That's pretty smart.
You never know. He's just so...
Hey, Todd, what are you doing?
Working like real man.
Oh, yeah. Got him.
Like a real man.
Sometimes you don't ask, you know?
Yeah, no. I'm sure it'll be a good. But anyways, till next time, we appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.